This is the big idea where we bring on a special guest to manage their all-time epic matchup on Out of the Park Baseball 22. Play what the pros play, the ultimate baseball strategy game. I'm Scott Braun, and we're thinking big today. The great Buck Showalter joins me, and Buck, this is personal for this matchup. I have a question for you to start us off. Who won the 1994 World Series?
Nobody. We would have. I really appreciate. Felipe and I still kid each other about it. What a great man he is. But you know, this is painful play in this game. I got to tell you, it's tough because that was a great team. We had it going on, but Felipe had a great team and they had it going on.
You had the best record in the American League. You had the best run differential in all of Major League Baseball. And the Expos had the best record in the National League and the best record in all of baseball. So when you matched up those two, I mean, there were a lot of pluses on both sides that said, hey, these two teams should be matching up in the World Series. The next year, you and Felipe matched up in the All-Star game, which made sense. But of course, like you mentioned, this is the game that never happened. So what we'll do is we're going to play one game to decide it all in 1994. You'll manage your New York Yankees, a team that had high hopes. And also, I'm looking at the Montreal side, for example, where you mentioned Felipe. I looked back, GM Kevin Malone said he still was feeling sick years and years later, thinking about what could have been for the Expos because that team was completely broken up after that season. It was also a team that ranked 27th out of 28 teams in payroll. So it was a $19 million payroll. But then after the year, Larry Walker's gone, Marquise Grissom's gone, Ken Hill, and many more. So, and on your side, of course, was that the best team you feel like that you were ever a part of and felt like you guys were going to win this thing?
Maybe in New York. It was in New York. We had a really good team in Arizona in '99 with Johnson and Schilling. We had a real good team in Baltimore for 2 or 3 years. Scott, when you get to this level and you play in the postseason, you're rolling the dice. You grind like hell for 6, 7 months to get a chance to roll the dice in October. And usually the team with the hot pitching staff is the team that wins. So it'll be fun to watch today.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you for this. So, right. Hey, I'm with you. I'm just the messenger. I'm the guide. You're the man. You're the manager. You're going to set up the lineups, the whole deal. And we're going to enter the land of the lost season. One game to decide all of 1994, the what if World Series. So here we are. We're going to set up the teams and the rules. So we're going to go into the 1994 power years on Out of the Park Baseball 22. Going to go to 1994 for both sides. So this is a matchup where we're playing. Sometimes we do matchups with teams in different eras. This makes it easy for us. We've got two teams playing in the same year, same style of baseball. And Buck, you're going to be the home team. You good with that?
I'm fine with that. Great stadium. I'm not so sure. Well, it's still a good stadium today, but that was a special place.
Yeah, the old Yankee Stadium. Also, being that you're the home team for this one game, winner take all in 1994, we will play, as you can see here, just one game. And the DH will be active on both sides if that's good with you.
Yeah, I've got Danny Tarble. I need a DH.
Yep, I agree. 25 players. Injuries can happen. It's just one game, though. It's the end of the season. It's 1994. It was the year when we did not get to see who the World Series winner was going to be. So let's whip up this exhibition. And what we'll do next is, now I know you're managing the New York Yankees, but I do want you to go into Felipe Alu's shoes just for a moment. Now, during the game, you're going to manage against the AI, the computer. It is.
Yeah. Scott, everybody's going to see Pedro Martinez's name here. I'll go, oh my gosh, he should be starting. He wasn't Pedro yet. He walked a lot of people then. He was only 22 years old. You can make a case for Kenny Hill or Jeff Asaro. Those were two great pitchers for Felipe. And if he had to pick a guy, I think Felipe would have taken a left-hander against our club in Yankee Stadium. We had so many left-handed hitters. He could get Noakes out of the lineup. He could get Polonia out of the lineup. He could negate Darryl Boston. I know Felipe, he would start the left-hander as many times as he could.
Yeah, 1994 was Pedro's first full season as a starter, one of two Hall of Famers on that 94 Expos team, but 142 strikeouts in 144 and two-thirds innings. Those were great K numbers back then, but 45 walks. And Pedro was just kind of finding himself. Meanwhile, yeah, Hill finished second in NL Cy Young voting, led the NL in wins in 94, finished second to Greg Maddux, and Facero was fifth among NL qualifiers, a 2.99 ERA. Excellent numbers, and you're right. He was the lefty in the lineup, so that's our first option here on the right. If you were Felipe, you're going up against your lineup. You're going Facero, right?
Yeah, I think he would.
Okay, and hey, this is one game, all hands on deck. So Pedro's available later. He can pitch a batter, he can pitch an inning, he can pitch five, whatever. Especially if Facero has trouble early, the computer will handle that once we're starting. Ken Hill's going to be available in there too. So just to give people an idea of what could happen in a game like this where everything's on the line. It's like the wild card game, but it's in the World Series to decide everything. Now, the only other order of business for you to do with the Expos is to set the most realistic lineup against your starter, who I'm assuming is going to be Jimmy Key, who finished second for AL Cy Young.
Yeah, I didn't. Molito Perez was the other option, but Molito wasn't quite Molito yet. We had Jim Abbott and we had Terry Mulholland, and Jimmy was definitely the best of that group.
Okay, so then with Key starting, what is the lineup that's most ideal, the optimal lineup in your mind if you were taking over this team just to set the lineup to try and beat that Yankee squad? This is what is initially set up here, but I want you to build it for us.
No, I would. We talked earlier. I don't. I know Felipe and the way he did his lineups. He was very platoon oriented. Lenny Webster wouldn't be DH and he would be catching. Darren Fletcher would be on the bench against Jimmy Key. Lansing would be leading off. He loved Mike Lansing. I think Floyd would be on the bench and Randy Milligan would be playing first base. Larry Walker would probably be the only left-handed hitter in that lineup. Rondell White would be in that lineup as a DH. And, Felipe
So I'm
always
making those
liked
changes for you now. You have Lenny at catcher over Darren Fletcher, correct?
Oh, yeah, there's no way that Felipe would start a left-hand hitting catcher against Jimmy Key.
Okay, so I have all righties except for Walker in this lineup. Now build it for me from top to bottom.
Lansing would lead off. Yeah, he loved
Okay.
Lansing leading off. Boy, this is nice making out somebody else's lineup. I think Sean Berry would hit. Right? I think Lenny Webster would hit 8th, and he would hit Sean Berry 9th, because Felipe always liked a good hitter in the 9-hole with the top of the order behind him. I think Milligan would hit 7th in that lineup. If you notice, it's easier to make a lineup when you go 9 back to 1 instead of 1 to 9. Scott, there's a little tidbit
Yeah,
for you.
I didn't really think about it that way, but is that how you built your lineups? Would you go from 9 to 1 when you were thinking about it the day before or the morning before?
Well, when you were having trouble a little bit, if you start at the bottom, it's easier. And once you fill in givens, I call them, the givens of where somebody's going to hit, then you can work your way up. I think, let me look at this for a second. Grissom's going to hit 3rd. We know that. We're going to leave him alone a 4-hole.
Where's Alou going?
Cordero would hit 6th in that lineup. Alou would hit 2nd. Rondell White would hit 5th. And that's your lineup.
So I have just a final here. Lansing, Alou, Grissom, Walker, White, Cordero, Milligan, Webster, and Berry.
Yep, that's filthy.
Yep, that'll work. That'll play.
And that
was a talented
gives him
9.
a solid bench, too. Give me his bench so I can be ready for it. That'd be Floyd.
So his bench has switch hitting Lou Frazier. And then I'll give you the righty first. Freddie Benavides.
Yep.
Juan Bell. Tim Spear?
Yeah, Spear, yeah.
Spear. Darren Fletcher is your left-handed bat, along with our boy Cliff Floyd.
Boy, don't tell him I did this. He'll be mad at me.
I won't. I have him. I have him on a show at another time, but I won't tell him. Don't worry. I'll be
Okay.
like, oh no, Buck didn't do a game with the Expos. Don't worry about it. We'll probably do his
Now,
Marlins against these
if he's
Expos. But
completely, he's
Cliff will
complete,
pop up later, Buck. He'll pop up against the righty later in the game.
well, if Cliff was completely honest, he probably didn't want to face Jimmy Key, but he'd never admit it. He was
He
filthy.
might admit it. Cliff's pretty candid. He might say, "Yeah, I'm good. I'll see you in the eighth for my big AB against the right-hander."
Oh, he'll probably
And
whittle
by the
off some.
way, what's up?
He'll probably recite some numbers about how well he hit Jimmy Key and make me look stupid. It's all right.
Well, here, I'll give you a couple as we're starting to set up your lineup. So, two things that I noticed about the teams. First off, you weren't your squad was all around. I know we had talked about this, a pieces team, a balanced team. I looked back at stories that you were included in and Stick Michael was talking about. Character guys, of course, on top of skill players. Montreal was a little younger, more raw, super fast. They led the National League in stolen bases. So identity-wise, these teams were very different, which is cool. And we never even got to see them play each other because there was no interleague affairs back then. But did you guys match up in spring training, which doesn't really mean much to me?
Yeah.
But is that the only time that you saw each other?
No, we were very familiar with each other. They were in West Palm. We were in Fort Lauderdale. Because the travel was only 45 minutes, we probably played 6 times every spring. And Felipe and I had managed against each other in the Florida State League with 1,000 people in the stands, and you could hear his big booming voice all over that place. But it's funny is this team another tribute to the great Gene Michael. People act like on base percentage is something that people are just now figuring out. Gene was very adamant about on base percentage guys who would take walks when we were acquiring players. That team led the major leagues in walks, Scotty. They had the most walks of any team at the time of the strike, and it was by design. It was an attribute that we really look for.
And that was a big deal. And by the way, I got your answer on Cliff. He never faced Jimmy Key, so he won't hold that one against you at some point.
God, there's a reason why.
Jimmy Key allowed 1 home run to left-handed hitters in '94. That's it. And lefties were a 611 OPS, 237 average.
Yeah, I'm thinking about flip-flopping Larry Walker and who's hitting fifth? Rondell?
Yep. Do you want to flip-flop?
I tell you, hit Rondell second, hit Moises fourth, and Larry fifth, because I know Felipe would not hit a left-handed hitter fourth against Jimmy Key.
Okay. So Grissom's going to be in the cleanup spot and Walker's hitting fifth?
No, I'm sorry. Lou would hit fifth, Grissom would hit third. Leave him in the 3-hole. Yeah, there you go. Because Rondell White could fly. You talking about a strong guy. He just couldn't throw. His arm, I think he had some major surgery in his arm. But he was some kind of offensive player. He could fly. That was another reason to start Jimmy Key, because he could negate the running game. Guys didn't run on him at all, Scott. So if this computer has somebody stealing the base off Jimmy Key, they're wrong.
It doesn't happen. All right, so wait, just to double check. 2 through 5, it's White in the 2 spot, Grissom third, Alou cleanup, Walker 5.
Yeah, that's
cool.
That's how Felipe.
Okay. All right, let's roll with your lineup. So we have Jimmy Key. That makes sense. Second in AL Cy Young. He was a stud that year. Although I did look up the 2 guys that finished below him nowadays might give him more of a run for his money for that 2 spot for AL Cy because of the strikeout numbers and how much they're valued nowadays versus back then. But, Key wasn't the biggest strikeout guy. 3.27 ERA, 97 Ks. The big thing in 168 innings, the big thing that stood out, Buck, obviously he was giving you length, 5-time All-Star, 17 wins. He led the American League in that category. And number 3 and 4 for Cy Young that year, Randy Johnson and Mike Messina. So that was pretty good company on that list.
Yeah, it's funny, Scott. We went after Greg Maddux real hard that year, and Jimmy Key was kind of our fallback guy. Gene Michael loved him. He was athletic. He could fill his position, hole runner, strike thrower, great human being. But we would have had Maddux if someone hadn't thought it'd be a good idea to show his wife around New York. Greg was all set to come until she didn't like the New York scene. So that's how we
Oh
ended
man,
up. How we ended up with Jimmy Key.
how about that? Yeah, no, you're right. I'm looking through here. So it was a 5-year, $28 million contract offer for Maddox, but he chose to go to Atlanta. Instead, you sign up Key, 4 years, $17 million bucks. Wow, isn't that something? Although I will say, 1996 World Series clincher, Key outpitched Maddox in Game 6, but we're
Very
on
similar,
94 right now.
very similar pitchers, except one's left, one's right. Jimmy was real cerebral and a scratch golfer, by the way. I
Ooh.
talked to him about being a pitching coach. He said it, Jimmy would have been a great pitching coach. He was just at a stage in his life he didn't want to do it. What a great pitching coach he would have been, Scott.
Smart guy. All right, we'll watch him work. So let's set up your lineup. I know you have a 9 that you put together. So why don't you lay it out for me, and I'll set it up.
You know, wait a minute. So you don't have it set up yet? Okay. Well, because of where we were and Fasaro's, the only challenge was that Fasaro's out pitch at that time was a split. He had a hard split that was just put away pitch, which helped him against right-hand hitters. But anyway, we'd lead off Bernie Williams in center field. We'd hit Boggs second at third base. We'd DH Chartable hitting third. We'd have O'Neill in right field hitting fourth. We'd have Mike Stanley catching, hitting fifth. We'd have Mattingly playing first base, hitting sixth. Donnie wasn't the Donnie of the late 80s, 90s, but he was still pretty good. Gerald Williams, who's one of the better platoon outfielders in baseball, wore out left-handed pitching, double plus defender with a big, big arm. Went on to have a 10-year career as being anyway, he'd be in left field. Mike Gallego would be at shortstop hitting eighth, and Pat Kelly would be at second base. And that was a challenge, too, because Randy Velarde was a really good infielder, too. Depending on how Pat Kelly was doing, you might consider playing Velarde at second base, but we'll start with Kelly there. And that gives us the bench of Louis Polonia, who was a big piece of that club, but we didn't play against left-handed pitching. You got Matt Noakes, the backup catcher, hitting left. Darrell Boston, real good left-handed pinch hitter. Velarde, we mentioned. Dave Silvestri, good player. And Jim Leyritz. It was tough not to have him in the lineup. Jimmy wasn't Leyritz yet. He went on to, in 96, 95, really hit the scene. And but it was tough. It was either O'Neill or him, Gerald or him, and there's no place. Really, both of them should have been DH, and there's only one DH spot. Okay, Scott, I'm done.
No, I love it. That was clutch. I just want to double check. I'm gonna go ready. Bernie Williams, center field, leading off. Danny Tartable,
Yep.
DH, number 2.
No, Boggs hit in second. Wade
Oh,
Boggs
my
hit in
bad.
second.
Okay. Wade Boggs, third base, hitting 2. Was O'Neill 3?
No, Tartable's 3. You're trying to break up the left-handed hitters.
There we go. Okay, Williams, Boggs. I missed the beginning. Tartable,
O'Neill,
Stanley catching, hitting 5.
Yeah.
6 is Mattingly at first. 7 Williams
Yeah.
left field. 8 Gallego short, and 9 Pat Kelly at second.
Yeah, that way you break up your left-handed hitters with a right-hander in between. That
Okay.
makes it harder.
All right, so then this is great. All right, so now there is a DH in here. You can warm up your pitcher where you'll let me know at some point later in the game, hey, Scotty, I feel like we need to start getting some action going in the bullpen. We're playing at the old Yankee Stadium. Just running through a few settings that we need to know here. And make sure we got our sound on. We are good to go. Okay. The computer is going to run the 1994 Montreal Expos. And we are running the New York Yankees. Okay, Buck Showalter, are you ready to enter the land of the lost season in the big idea, the 1994 World Series that never happened in one game to take it all, Yankees Expos? Ready?
yes and no. Bring it on. The pain. Start the pain.
Start the pain right now. The game begins with Jimmy Key on the mound. And you'll talk me through what we're doing here. Mike Lansing is going to lead off this game. Your defense is set up regularly right now. You can tell me at any time, hey, I want to move the infield around. I want to move the outfield around. Let's play ball. What do you want to do?
I would shift it slightly the other way and pitch to the batter.
You're going to shift the outfield?
Everybody slightly the other way. You never pull the ball.
Okay,
once.
so outfield is going to shift a bit to the right.
Yes.
And the infield is also, you can do an infield hard shift to the right.
How about a weak shift to the right?
To the right?
No, weak shift to the right.
Weak shift to the right.
Yep.
And you're going to pitch away?
Yep.
It's game time. A little rain in the forecast. Oh, a little X factor here. First pitch, Yankee Stadium. There's no lid on it. And that is just weakly dribbled to the right side. And one down here in the top of the first as Lansing is retired by the short glove of Don Mattingly. And that brings us to Rondell White.
I'm playing him straight up all the way around. You can pitch to the batter.
All right, let's pitch to Rondell. And he goes the other way, and he's going to bounce one against the wall. Rondell White is heading for 3. Throw over to third is not in time. And Rondell White is safe with a triple with 1 out in the first.
Come on, Scott. There's no triples at that short porch in right field.
There was a little bit of a bobble situation in right field with Mr. O'Neill.
No.
And Rondell was aggressive. He's a 60 speed back then on the 20 to 80 scale.
Can we go to replay and check the play at third base, see if it was safe or out?
No replay back then, Buck. There's only replay on the TV broadcast that everyone was watching.
Tony Kubek.
All right, so a little pressure for Mr. Key right now with Marquise Grissom coming up. What's the move?
We got infield in.
Infield's coming in.
Yep. Straight up in the outfield. I would pitch to
Of course, you've got options here. You can pitch out, hold runner, pitch to contact, etc., or just pitch to the batter.
I'd pitch to contact here.
Pitch to contact, okay. Here we go, Marquise Grissom. Oh, he makes contact. Left center field, open space, and he's going to knock in the first run of the game. We're going to have some offense in this one. Marquise Grissom slides in back-to-back triples with 1 out in the first, and the Expos break the ice and grab a 1-0 lead. All right, here's the pressure on again with an excellent contact hitter in Moises Alou. What's the plan here? You going to bring the infield in again?
No, we'll stay back. Pitch to contact.
Pitch to contact. Okay.
I'm sorry.
You're not trying to strike out Alou.
Let's go to pitch to batter.
Pitch to batter. Okay.
As soon as you explain to me
he
what
makes
pitch to
contact, and that's going to go over short. And that's into left center, and it's 2-0 Expos. All right, well, I would say maybe you get a break here, but oh, wait, now it's number 5 hitter Larry Walker. Hey, you're going to have some fun on your side, too, on offense. I think we're going to this could be a 12-10 game, Buck.
I hope not. Slight pull with the infield and outfield.
All right, so the outfield is going to shift to the left, or to the right.
Yep.
And the infield is going to shift, weak shift right?
Weak shift right. Yep, you got it.
All right, and you want to pitch to the batter?
Yep.
Let's do it. Walker on the ground. There's 1. There's 2. Oh, that's huge. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors, nobody left on. Jimmy Key picks up the double play, Buck. That's huge for you.
I like watching guys run on and off the field.
Out of the park baseball, 22. Everybody getting off the field probably with a smile. It could have been, much uglier with the lineup that's on there for the Expos side, but huge double play ball for Jimmy Key. And now it's your turn to pounce here. Jeff Fassero pitching. Bernie Williams is going to start us off. You've just got your swing away, take pitch, bunt for hit options. You ready to swing away?
Yep.
All right, we're swinging away. 2.99 ERA on the season for Facero, pitching in a big spot here. Bouncer left side, and Cordero throws Williams out. One gone. Moving us to Wade Boggs, one of the best contact hitters in the sport at that point in time.
Swing away.
Swinging away. 342 hitter that year. And he's down on strikes. A swing and a miss. Boggs is retired.
He ain't striking out, trust me.
It didn't happen much, especially back then. Okay. Now we have Danny Tartabull in the 3 spot. 29 strikeouts, by the way, for Boggs in 1994. 29. And it wasn't a full season, but what? There was 100-ish games, something like that, and well, more than 100 games. And it didn't happen very often, once every few games. But it happened right there. Danny Tartabull's up. Swinging away.
Oh, yeah. Big time power. Big, strong guy.
Tartabull pulls it left side, and that's a 1-2-3 first for Facero. And the Yanks go down in order. We'll flip it back to Jimmy Key and your Yankees back on defense. By the way, Key with 22 double plays turned in 1994. That was second best in baseball. So that was something we're used to seeing. And now he's going to face number 6 hitter Will Cordero. And we're going to pitch to the batter?
Yep, straight away.
Straight away. Playing him straight up. And striking him out. Jimmy Key picks up the K. And just to give you an idea of what we're working with here, stamina is still great. He's at 20 pitches. Because obviously we're showing you the result of each at bat. That's why we were able to fly through a little bit here. And he's facing Randy Milligan in the 7th spot.
Scott, the only thing I do here, I play the outfield slightly the other way. He really shot the ball the other way in the air.
Okay, so we're going to shift the outfield just to the right.
Yep, leave everybody else in the infield straight up. Pitch to batter.
And we are pitching to Mr. Milligan, 232 hitter that year. He's going to go up the middle for a knock. 1-out base runner for Montreal. And now we have Lenny Webster in the 8-hole.
Straight up. Pitch to him.
Straight up. Let's pitch.
Yeah, we're going to hold the runner. We're going to hold the runner, aren't we?
Well, yeah, but the ball gets away. So the runner's going to move up. Randy Milligan to second now. You're going to pitch again?
Yep.
All right, man in scoring position, 2 outs, and that's a high fly ball, center field, gliding in. Bernie Williams makes the catch. 2 down, and it's Sean Berry.
Straight up. Pitch to him.
Straight up. Well, let's pitch to Berry with 2 outs, top 2, weakly to short. These are the pre-Derek Jeter days, but Gallego makes the play. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, a runner left on. It's still 2-0.
We had 3 shortstops that year. We signed a guy later in the year who was a great defensive shortstop, probably as good a pure hands I ever saw. Kevin Elster came over and played some for us, and so did Randy Velarde played over there when Gallego.
And how much were you hearing about Derek Jeter in 1994? Not much yet?
We knew he was on the horizon. He was just coming off a 60-era season in Greensboro. 60. That's a lot of errors.
60 errors. That's double the
50,
strikeout that Wade Boggs had.
Yeah, it may have been 50, but it was a lot of errors.
I remember Brian Rivera yet. He showed up the next year. No Jorge Posada yet.
No. Bernie was the first guy, and Pat Kelly, believe it or not, that kind of burst on the scene, and we kind of thought we might have something.
Well, Paul O'Neill had a big season back in 1994, and he's going to lead off the inning. I'm assuming you're going to swing away?
Yep.
All right, let's get going here. O'Neill versus Facero. Lefty-lefty matchup. O'Neill socks it the other way, and it drops for a base hit. Big way to lead off the inning. for the Bronx Bombers. O'Neill's at first. Now you've got more options. Mike Stanley's going to dig in.
Yep, swing away. Good hitter.
Swinging away.
Really professional winning player, Mike Stanley. Would have been a great manager.
And he took a pitch, a forkball for strike 3, sends him back to the dugout. Did he ever talk about the possibility of managing Mike Stanley?
I think fantasy-wise, he'd spent so much time away that Mike kind of wanted to stay home. He coached some and decided to kind of shut it down. I hope. He was a good man. Good father, good husband.
But, by the way, we looked up Jeter. The errors were high, but the batting average of 94 at high A, triple A, and double A combined, 344. And also, we're playing 1994 baseball, Buck. Oh, and bench coach during the 2002 season. Mike Stanley was a bench coach, right?
Yep.
Jimmy Key for the Red Sox. Jimmy Key threw 90-plus pitches in 24 of 25 starts in 1994, just to give an idea of what you're working with later on in the game. Because obviously, I think people that are watching today's game figure, we're not, 90, 100. And I know it's the playoffs, but these guys have stamina back in the 90s, more so than they do today. Would you agree?
Well, they pitched to weak contact more. There were more balls put in play early in the count. There was a different tempo and rhythm to the game. The players got in the batter's box, and there was a different tempo and rhythm to the game. I'm not saying good, bad, and different. I've got my own personal thoughts, but there was a different tempo, rhythm the game was played, Scott.
So let's figure out what we're doing here. O'Neill's at first. Mattingly's up. Are we just going to hang out and swing away?
Yep, go ahead.
Donnie Baseball. Swing and a miss. Cicero picks up his 3rd strikeout already.
Another guy did
here's
strike
Gerald
out.
Williams. Swinging away.
Nicknamed the Iceman, Grambling University. He struck out one time. Yeah, Mattingly said that. He struck out one time, Gerald did, and Mattingly said, "The Iceman cometh and the Iceman goeth."
Swinging away.
Oh, yeah. Gerald got big juice off the left-hander.
Let's see. Oh, high fly ball, but it's pretty shallow. And it is caught. Marquise Grissom runs it down. So after the leadoff knock, Jeff Cicero works some magic, and we're in the 3rd. A 4-hit, 2-run first for Montreal with the lead 2-0. Jimmy Key matching up against the top of the order. Second time around here with Mike Lansing. Ready to go?
Yep. Still going to play him a little bit the other way, in and out. Weak shift right.
Weak shift right. Outfield is going to shift to the right.
Yep.
And we'll pitch to the batter. And Lansing's going to left center, and that looks like it'll be extra bases, as he is going to park himself at second with a leadoff double. This is just such a fun part of the lineup to deal with, isn't it?
They had a great club. A lot of people didn't really know about them until these guys went to other teams, sad to say.
Yeah, and after this, many of them left after this 1994 season. You're going to pitch away to Rondell White? You're going to shift him in any direction?
Play him straight up, pitch to him. They had a great farm system, Scott. Gosh, they did a great job down below.
Rondell White to right, deep, and caught. Paul O'Neill back on it. And Lansing is going to tag up at second and slide into third. So that does move up the runner with one away, and Marquise Grissom is climbing in.
Okay, let's make sure the infield's in here, and let's go pitch to him.
Infield's in. Let's pitch. Marquise. Ball 4. Fastball downstairs. Sets up runners on the corner.
Okay, let's play double play depth in the middle.
Double play depth for your infield against Moises Alou. Outfield.
Straight up. I would only play, yeah.
Straight up. And you're throwing to the batter?
Yep.
Here we go. That's ball 4. Bags full of Expos with 1 out here in the 3rd, and Larry Walker has a juicy opportunity.
Scott, why don't you get Donnie Paul up in the bullpen?
Let's do it. All right, so let's head to your substitutions page.
Is he not there?
So you've got end of season rosters here: Molito, Perez, Jim Abbott.
Okay, you need
starters.
to get up Joe Osanio.
Okay.
He was a good. He came on. Great story.
So Joe Osanio is going to start warming up, and that's it for now?
Yep.
All right, back to the action. And Larry Walker with the bases loaded. Infield still in and shifting him to the left?
No, we're going to play double play depth in the infield.
Double play depth? What about the outfield?
Slight pull.
So we're going to shift the outfield to the right for Walker. And ready to pitch?
Yep.
All right, let's do it. Walker's 0 for 1, and Walker to shallow left. That's going to fall and score 1. Here comes the next, and he's in. It's Lansing and Grissom scoring on a 2 RBI knock for Larry Walker to make it 4-0.
Scott, let's make a pitcher visit, mound visit.
All right, let's do it. What are you saying to Jimmy Key in a spot like this? 3rd inning. It's Game 7 of the '94 World Series, essentially.
Well, first of all, the pitching coach is the one talking to him. I'm not going out there because Jimmy would ask me, "What am I doing out there?" The only thing I know about pitching was it was hard to hit. So, no, it's one of those things. He knows what's going on. He knows that he's not doing particularly well, and he's buying a little time for the bullpen guy because it usually takes 2 or 3 hitters.
And Mr. Key had a reaction. He said, "I'm not tired at all. Let me pitch."
Then we're going to let him pitch.
Yes, we are. All right, so here's Will Cordero with Walker and Alou on. 1 out in the 3rd, 1994 World Series, 1 game to take it all that never happened. And how are you going to play Will Cordero?
Still at double play depth, straight up everywhere.
Double play depth, straight up. Pitch to the batter.
Yep.
Here it comes. There it goes. Center field. And it hangs up for Bernie Williams to make the catch. Runners stay put. 2 gone now for Randy Milligan.
Move the infield back now and pitch to the batter.
Infield normal depth. Let's pitch to the batter. And that's going to right. O'Neill trotting in. Catch made. Buck, I think that was a timely mound visit. What about you? Was that a good time to visit the mound, Buck? Do you think did you believe in that stuff, that helping him at that time period to just kind of calm the nerves?
Well, you're trying to change the karma a little bit. What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Just kind of change the scenery, change the karma. Get anything that kind of looks like a fresh start. And you're giving Arsenio time to warm up.
And now back to Facero. 8-9-1 due up for your Yankees. And we'll start with Mike Gallego. You're going to swing away?
Yes.
All right, we're swinging. Looking for a rally for Buck's squad, a 4-0 game, and it's a little popper to the right side and caught by Mike Lansing. Closes the glove and makes the catch for out number 1. 9-hitter Pat Kelly swinging away.
We're going to bunt for a hit here.
All right.
He could fly. Really good at pushing the ball to first base.
Trying to create the bunt. Misses on the bunt.
Swing away now.
And 2 strikes against him. Now you'll swing away, right?
Yep.
Okay. Lefty-righty matchup. Takes. Called strike 3. Got him with a sinker on a 1-2. Uncharacteristic. Too many strikeouts for your crew today.
Hey, make sure Molito Perez is warmed up. He's coming in next inning.
All right, let's head over to your bullpen. So, Osanio is ready. We're also going to put Molito now into the bullpen.
I'd go with Molito if I'm going to get a fresh. I'd go with Molito if I was going with a fresh start to the inning. Osanio is the guy that is used to coming in with people on base, so I think Molito would be a good match. And I think Jimmy, down 4-0, we can't give up any more.
Okay, so Molito's starting to warm up here. There's 2 outs in the 3rd inning, and back to the top of the order with Bernie Williams ready to swing away.
Yep.
All right, Bernie swinging. 2 guys warming up for Buck's crew. Ground ball, left side, out, recorded, side retired. It is 4-0. After 3 innings, we've reached the 4th. Jimmy Key back on there. It's 54 pitches, still feeling good, but do you already want to make the change? Do you want to see if Molito's ready to go as well?
I'm going to let him face one hitter here. Jimmy, see how he goes.
Okay, Jimmy versus Lenny. Pitch to the batter.
Yep.
Here we go. Webster hitless so far, and that will continue. Weak ground ball is short. 1 up, 1 down. You let him keep going?
Yep.
All right, Sean Berry pitching to the batter. Key fires. Berry pops it up. And the catch is made by Boggs to haul it in. So are you in a situation now where if a guy is on, you're going to make the change, but if not, you're going to see how long Jimmy Key goes?
Yeah, you're going to let him face a hitter or 2, go hitter to hitter with him here because, this isn't like there's another game tomorrow. So, Jimmy.
Mike Lansing's up.
Yeah, it'd be different during the regular season. You'd let him go a lot longer. We're going to stay with Jimmy here, see if we can finish the inning.
Okay, and are you going to play Lansing straight up?
We're going to play both of them slightly the other way, same like we've been doing.
Okay, so a weak shift to the right.
And a weak shift right there.
And an outfield shift right. Now, Jimmy Key's opposing batting average the 3rd time through back then in '94 was .303.
Yep.
This is the first time he's facing 3rd time through. We're going to pitch the batter, right?
Yep.
All right, let's see what he's got. Good start to the inning, and that'll continue. 1 hopper, right side. That was the best we've seen from Jimmy Key so far tonight.
Yep. We'll let Molito start the next inning. What inning are we in, 4th or 5th?
We're bottom 4, so you'll be pitching in the 5th coming up.
Yep.
All right, so let's start off with, you got 2, 3, 4. It's a big chance for you here. 4-0 game. It is the big idea. Scott Braun and Buck Showalter. Buck's managing his 1994 Yankees, best record in the American League against the best in the NL, that Montreal Expos team. Some say, before we get going with this bottom 4, that if the Expos were able to play out the season, and let's just say the Expos at least made it to the World Series against a squad like yours, it could have even maybe saved baseball in Montreal. It could have revitalized the city. And you think about what Seattle did in 1995. They were so behind this Montreal team. It was a low payroll team, but it was a high talent team, and it just never happened.
Yeah, Scott, I agree with you. I think this team would have energized. Obviously there's some playoffs you'd have to get through to get to the World Series, but that place would have been hopping. Jeez. It's still a good baseball town. I still think there's a chance you're going to see Major League Baseball back there. One of their big challenges was their facility. The Olympic Stadium, it was, for lack of a better word, it was awful. They had these cats underneath that used to take care of the varmints from the clubhouse to the dugout, you took your life in your hands. But turf was bad. It was a bad. It just wasn't a good baseball facility. I think that was a lot of their problem. Montreal's a great city, and I know there's going to be some consideration to going back there.
Yeah, and I think there's good reason why we're playing this one at beautiful old Yankee Stadium.
Hey,
If we had the
by the
option
way,
here.
yeah, Montreal's a clean city. How about the hat and the uniform from Montreal? How good was that?
Oh, so money, so good. Hey, I share an office at my day job with Cliff Floyd, and we talk about it all the time. I mean, Cliff went through some really interesting years from Montreal to playing with Florida and then moving on to some other squads eventually. It was the Florida Marlins back then, but I mean, he was part of a special squad, and Cliff can style, and he was like, Scotty B, let me tell you, they had it working. The Expos were a stylish ball club from uniform to what they were when they entered the ballpark, the whole deal. You know, you had a young Pedro Martinez who we might not see in this game unless Felipe and the AI decides to bring him in later on. But yeah, this was a team that you could get behind if you, say, weren't married to one organization. If you were just a fan of Major League Baseball, there was a ton of talent coming out of Montreal and a lot of young talent that eventually, turned into Hall of Fame talent with some other spots like Larry Walker and Pedro Martinez. Grissom was amazing, Alou. All right, so let's do this bottom of the fourth inning with Wade Boggs leading the way. You going to swing away?
Yep, let's go.
If Wade Boggs strikes out 2 times in the game, we're leaving. He doesn't. Right side, down the first base line. He's in business, Buck. Heading for 2. Here's the throw. Not in time. And Wade Boggs has himself a leadoff double. This could be the big inning, Buck. Danny Tartable batting in the 3 spot. We're going to swing away?
Yep.
All right. Tartable swings and misses and strikes out. Facero gets him with a 1-2 pitch. Jeff Facero, by the way, sitting in the low 90s. He's at 54 pitches. Still in pretty good shape, apparently feeling good. And he was a decent strikeout pitcher back then. 119 Ks and 138-ish innings back then was pretty decent. I know everybody's throwing, strikeout an inning these days, but back in the early 90s, that was good.
You see 90-92. That's really 92-94. There was a different gun being used back then. It was called a ray gun. That's why you're getting a lot more higher readings nowadays. But that's not many people.
Yeah, it's more fan friendly when we're seeing. Everybody likes when the clock hits triple digits.
All right, let's see
Swinging away.
Paul. Yep.
All right, Big Paul O'Neill had a monster season back in 1994. That one's hanging up for a while for Grissom in center, and he's under it for out number 2. Mike Stanley coming up with Boggs at second.
Yep, let him swing. Mike's going to drive this run in.
Let's go, Mike. He's swinging and missing. Wow. Jeff Facero, have a day. 6th strikeout and strands another runner. Your boys aren't hitting yet, Buck.
It's early.
It is early. It's the 5th. Are we going to make a move now? Is Jimmy Key done?
Yeah, I tell you what. I'm going to leave on a good note. Let's bring Molito in.
Okay. So let's go to your subs. Oh, see, we got to re-warm them up now.
Oh, really? I thought he was throwing during the inning.
Let's check.
Well,
oh, he's ready, though.
Yeah,
put him back in the pen. Ready. He's ready.
Yep, let's go.
Let's put him in, right?
Yep.
So Molito Perez is going to enter the game for the New York Yankees. And do you want anybody else warming up in the bullpen for now, just in case Perez has trouble?
Nope, we'll stay with Molito. Came over in the Steve Sachs trade.
Okay, and your largest comeback for the Yankees in 1994 was a 6-run deficit. So you can work with this. Molito Perez, back in 94, 4.10 ERA. He was traded to the Yankees January 10th of 1992. You also picked up Bob Wickman in that deal, and that was when Steve Sachs moved the other way. You guys dealt him away. But yeah, a 4.10 ERA. He made 22 starts. So this was, what kind of Molito Perez were we getting back then? Still someone who was finding himself, but the stuff was there?
Yeah, Molito was 92, 93. Big time split, good slider. Really, really good kid. Was a good teammate. He was good people.
Rondell White's up. You pitching to him?
Yes.
All right, let's get going. Molito Perez versus Rondell White. Righty-righty matchup on the ground, left side, and the play is made by Gallego on a hop. Quickly takes care of White, one down. And what you did, obviously, Buck, was you went from your southpaw to your righty. So now you suddenly have a righty-heavy lineup besides Walker going up against a right-handed starter.
Yep.
Grissom's up. You going to pitch to the batter?
Yes.
Let's do it. Marquise Grissom sends a ball to center. Bernie Williams has it. And there are 2 outs in the 5th for Moises Alou. And are you going to play Moises a certain way?
No, we're going to stay straight up on him.
Okay, straight up to Moises. Here we go. Molito Perez looking for a 1-2-3. That's weakly hit to short. Going to be a tough play. It turns into an infield knock. Moises Alou is on with 2 outs. Now Larry Walker. Anything different?
Yeah,
right now, the outfield shifted a bit to the left. Are you okay with that?
No, we're going to play him straight up and make sure we're holding the runner on here.
Outfield normal. We're going to hit hold runner.
Yeah.
And that is sent to center field, and Bernie Williams is there. So Walker, after a knock the previous at-bat, sits down, and Molito Perez does his job in the 5th. Let's get back to your boys in the home half. Don Mattingly is going to lead the way. 6, 7, and 8 due up for the Yankees. Top team in the American League by record and top MLB team by run differential. Buck was managing them back in 1994. Okay, what's the plan? Swinging away with Donnie Baseball?
Yep, let's go.
Captain trying to make it happen. Donnie sends a ball deep left. Warning track. And caught. Moises Alou gets there, reaches up, and makes a nice catch for the first down.
That's a long way over there in that stadium.
Yeah. Here's Gerald Williams.
Yep, let's swing away.
Okay, let's see if they're starting to wear down Jeff Facero. Williams to short, and that's an easy ground ball out. 2 gone. Mike Gallego digs in.
Swing away.
Swinging away. See if these Yanks can create some offense. Gallego strikes out. A sinker from Facero. This is the game of his life, Buck.
No, he was good all the time. I tell you what, he was tough on left and right-handers. He could spin it away from the left-handers and could split it straight down against the right-handers. He had enough fastball. He was good.
Your offense was ridiculous, though, and just not showing up yet. Again, it's the 6th inning. Plenty of time still to spare for the Yankees. 7 hits for Montreal, 4 runs. Molito Perez facing Will Cordero. 6, 7, 8 due up for the Expos. Are we pitching?
Yes, we are.
Playing him straight up.
Straight up.
Alrighty. Winds and deals and sends it to center, and it falls for a base hit.
God, let me look at my bullpen, will you?
Let's head over to it.
Felipe's going to pinch hit down there in the bottom. Who I got left-handed there? I'm not going to use Hal yet. Why don't you
Sterling Hitchcock, Rob Murphy, Steve Howe, Jim Abbott's there too.
Let's get Jim Abbott going in the bullpen in case he pinch hits here in the bottom of the order.
Okay, Abbott's warming up. And that's it for now?
Yep, let's go back.
Back to the action. Pitch to the batter.
Yep.
It's Randy Milligan, Scott Braun, and Buck Showalter, and that pitch is driven to left, a lot of air on it, and the catch is made by Gerald Williams for out number 1. Here comes Lenny Webster.
Pitch to him. Let's go.
Pitching to Lenny. And striking out Lenny. Perez got him to expand the zone. And he's facing the 9-hitter, Sean Berry, with 2 outs in the 6th. Pitching to Sean.
Yep.
Straight up with 1 on, stranding the runner. Molito Perez gets through the inning untouched. Besides the base hit, no runs come across. And we have reached the last of the 6th. 1 game to decide the 1994 season. Montreal matching up against Buck Showalter's Yankees. How you feeling, Buck? Are there any, for real, are there any nerves?
No, I wouldn't say nerves. I tell you what, seeing a lot of these names brings back a lot of memories on both sides of the ball. You know, I think about my coaching staff then. I think about Felipe, and the more things change, the more they stay the same. Hey, Cleet Boyer. I had Willie Randolph on that staff. Brian Butterfield. You know, we had a heck of a coaching staff too. But no, it's he'll kind of tug at you a little bit, especially the 4-0 part. You know, we need to score some runs, Scott. Let's go.
It never happened, too. I mean, you were held scoreless 4 times in all of 1994. I mean, it wasn't common. Your team was 70-43, so we're talking 113 games, and it happened 4 times.
The only thing that's unrealistic here is you would have heard more booing if we were down 4-0 at this point.
I heard some light booing, but also a crowd that's just expecting a late comeback. And, of course, you've got your pinch hitters on the bench, but we're not going there yet, right? Pat Kelly in the 9 spot?
Not yet. Not yet. Not until they change pitchers.
Okay, so Facero at really economical 69 pitches here in the 6th, going up against Pat Kelly. Swing away.
Yep. I'm going to tell you, with Felipe, you better have your bullets in the last 3 innings because he's going to do some things. So got to be careful about shooting your best shot early.
That makes sense. And that was to deep short, but the play is made by Cordero. Nice throw to retire Pat Kelly.
Pat could really run. He was a plus runner. If you throw him out from the hole, you better have a pretty good arm.
Yeah, Will had to hustle. So now we have Bernie Williams, switch hitting star for the Yankees, who really broke out in 94 and then, of course, became Bernie Williams. Good numbers against left-handed pitching. Swinging away.
Yep.
All right, let's swing away. Bernie's 0 for 2 so far today. Searching for his first hit. That's ball 4. So base on balls for Bernie. And Wade Boggs, contact specialist, up next.
Swing away. Not going to hit and run down 4-0.
Need some action here. Boggs rips it into right field. And that's going to roll towards the wall. So here's a pause for you to decide as your base coach. You want to signal Bernie Williams to round second and try for third. Ball is the ball's shallow. Williams is fast, but Larry Walker, we know that arm. This is prime Larry Walker, even maybe a bit before his prime. Well, no, prime Larry Walker. So are you going to test that arm?
Of course not. This is the easiest question to answer. Short right field and Larry Walker. Come on, man. Down 4-0.
Yeah. Trying to win a ball game here, get some runs on the board, start a rally. That was the first walk we saw from Facero on Williams, then Boggs with the base hit, and now Danny Tartabull, your number 3 hitter. Are you swinging away?
Yep.
All right, let's see if this is the inning for Bucks Yankees. Check swing, called strike. A half a swing, but it's a whole strike. The ump calls the K in the zone, and Tartabull heads back to the dugout. All right, so it was a half swing. You didn't think it was going to be a strike. It was called. That's a big second out for Jeff Facero.
Well, you know, back when you could say something to umpires, there might have been a little barking out of the dugout there.
Yeah, I figured that. Paul O'Neill, by the way, if you're a fan of OPS Plus, Hundreds League Average, in 1994, he had a 177 OPS Plus. 5-time All-Star. We know he won 5 World Series titles. He won the batting title in 1994. 359. He did tail off a little bit after the middle of June. He was hitting 405 through the first 63 games. And you remember there were the signs out of Yankee Stadium like, O'Neill, the real deal. This was a big season for Paulie, and this is going to be the biggest at-bat of his 1994 campaign.
Yeah, and we took a lot of grief about trading Roberto Kelly for Paul O'Neill. Everybody said, for a Paul who? They didn't say that once we got into 93, 94.
Paul coming from Cincinnati, right?
Yep. Another great trade Gene Michael made. He made a lot of great trades.
Put together some squad. This is a rare night, and there's some rain too. Early action for the Expos. They have 4. Yankees looking to break the ice, swinging away with Paul O'Neill, Buck.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it. 0-1. Ball gets away. Both runners moving up another station, and they will advance. That one way back to get the baseball. Lenny Webster has to grab it. I mean, there was a chance of run scoring there. That's how badly the ball was kicked around behind the, or towards, I guess, the backstop. And now we've got 2 in scoring position, Buck, for Paul O'Neill. Swinging away.
Yeah, we need a knock here.
Huge pitch. O'Neill 1 for 2 so far today. Sends it to right, and that will drop. 1 run comes in. And over to third goes Boggs. O'Neill with an RBI single. The Yankees cracked the scoreboard in the 6th, and Buck, I'm starting to hear it. You know how this place rocked in the Bronx. Like, you could feel the vibrations once there was a sign of life.
I'm trying to figure out how Wade Boggs didn't score from second with 2 outs and would be going on contact. Sorry, I'm overthinking
it. You might, but you're not going to say anything there. Well, maybe it was a nice throw. Wade was not known for his speed.
Yeah, but 2 outs, just about anybody should be able to score on a base hit the outfield, because as soon as contact's made, you're moving. But
so
anyway,
let's see if Mike Stanley can get the job done. Swinging away.
Oh yeah, Mike's a good low ball hitter. That split stays down, he may get him.
They sent one to third. They're going to go the short way for the force. Okay, so there is a run off Facera. He finally shows a little blip. And it's a 4-1 game as we head to the 7th. If you could organize any game with any players in baseball history, who would you call? Can I interest you in a 1994 what-if World Series Yankees Expos matchup? Or how would Team USA from the 2017 World Baseball Classic fare against Team Cuba? But here's the catch. This time, the Cuban roster features major leaguers. What about the 2 best clubs in the history of your favorite franchise? Like, who's better, the 1985 Royals or the 2015 champs in KC? Stop wondering and start watching, because this is the big idea. Big-time guests dream of epic matchups on Out of the Park Baseball 22. Then we press play and manage it all, thanks to the ultimate baseball strategy game. Available on PC or the brand new Out of the Park Go on your mobile device. Take that curiosity, that all-time debate, that what if in baseball history, and make it happen. The big idea has arrived. Are you in? 1994, the what if game between the Expos and the Yankees. Buck, what's the plan here in the 7th?
I want to make sure you got Abbott and Bob Wickman up in the bullpen. Because we got a 9-out game. Let's head to
your bullpen. Abbott's warming up. He's ready.
Yeah.
And Bob Wickman is now going to start warming up for you as well.
Yep.
And we're going to ride Molito Perez for now?
Yeah, we're going to let him start the inning clean, see what happens. Hey, I'll tell you this, Scott. In the 95 playoffs, just to give the fans some idea, you could not talk to the person next to you in the dugout. You could not hear him. You had to go up the runway to have a conversation. It was so loud in that ballpark. The only place like that I thought was Camden Yards in 2014 was that loud. You could not talk to another human being sitting right next to you. It was so loud. I actually thought
mid-90s.
The dugout was, yeah, when Mattingly hit a home run in the playoffs in 95, the dugout was shaking in that old stadium. I thought it was getting ready to cave in. It was not a comfortable feeling. I got up out of
78
the
was the
dugout.
last time the Yankees had won a title, too, Buck. It had been a long time.
The last time we'd been to the playoffs was a while too, but I actually got out of the dugout because I was afraid it was gonna fall in.
No way. It was
Oh, I'm serious.
what
People
you were
people
feeling it
thought
and
I
hearing
got
it.
to. They thought that I got to the top step to shake hands with Mattingly. I was getting up to keep the top of the stadium, the dugout, from falling on me. It was
Oh
vibrating.
wow, that's incredible. 1994 in New York City, by the way, too. You had the Rangers winning their first cup since 1940. The Knicks went to Game 7 of the NBA Finals. I mean, this was prime New York City sports, and I mean, the fever was contagious there. It was an incredible atmosphere, and the old Yankee Stadium was something else, and learned something new. Buck Showalter not only keeping the team intact, but keeping the ballpark intact.
Yeah. Let's see if
All
we
right,
can
Buck.
hold them here.
Molito against Mike Lansing here to lead off the 7th. Are we pitching?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. Lansing's 1 for 3, and now Lansing is 1 for 4. That's the first out of the inning. This is the spot that's been trouble. It's been Rondell White, and then you have Grissom, Alou, and Walker. So Molito, Perez going up against the righty still here for a few batters. You gonna stick with Molito?
Yep.
And you're gonna play. Are we playing everyone straight up right now, Rondell?
Yeah. I'm gonna say straight up off you guys.
Okay. Let's pitch to him. He's 1 for 3 so far tonight. Sends a ball to right center, and Bernie Williams is there. Catch out, 2 down in the 7th. Marquise Grissom up next. Pitch away.
Pitch to him. Yep.
Let's do it. Grissom's 1 for 2 tonight, and now he is 2 for 3. That's lashed to center for a base hit and a ton of speed on the bags as well.
Yeah. Be sure we hold him on.
Okay, so we'll do the hold runner option, which means that Don Mattingly will stay close with Marquise Grissom and stick him on the bag as best as possible. For Moises Alou, are you going to play him straight up, infield and outfield?
Straight up. Straight up.
Alou's last plate appearance was a single in the 5th, and we are going to hold the runner and pitch. And here it comes, and Alou with a blast. Deep left, it's gone! Moises Alou connects and drives in Marquise Grissom. This is a 6-1 game, 391 feet down the left field line. Moises Alou could really swing the bat back then.
Let's. Hey, by the way, let's bring in Abbott to face Walker here, okay?
All right, let's head to the bullpen. And Jim Abbott is back in warm-up mode. He's ready to go. And he's going to replace Molito Perez.
Yep.
Abbott is in. Walker is up. And bags are empty. We pitch into the batter.
Yes.
All right, let's do it. Jim Abbott versus Larry Walker. Forkball down and a free pass. And now back to the righties and Will Cordero.
Jim Abbott didn't have a fork one. All right. Must have been in one. Okay.
What did Jim Abbott have?
Yeah, fastball, cutter, and a little curveball. Fastball, cutter, curveball. He had a little changeup later on.
Okay.
Cutter.
So we're going to pretend it was a cutter back then. But it missed down. So now it's Will Cordero. And are we going to pitch with Abbott, or are we thinking about a move?
No, we're going to stay with him. One more hitter.
All right. And you're going to do hold the runner? You're going to do anything different?
Okay, we're going to hold the runner.
Hold the runner and pitch.
Yep.
And sent to short. Line softly. Gallego has the catch and the out to retire the side. Moises Alou with a big blast. 2-run shot. We're in the 7th. 10 hits for the Expos. The Yanks with 4 and 1 run, and now Don Mattingly in the 6th hole to lead off the frame against Jeff Becerro, still in there, and he is at 95 pitches. So Mattingly swinging away?
Yes.
Let's swing away. Mattingly searching for his first knock of the day, sends a drive deep right, back to the wall and caught. Larry Walker makes a running catch near the wall for the first out. We've had a few of those tonight.
Yeah, that'd have been a home run at the new stadium.
Oh, easy home run at the new Yankee Stadium. Gerald Williams follows Mattingly. Are we swinging away?
Yes.
Well, let's swing away. 0 for so far today, and that looks like it will continue. Barry scoops, and the throw to first retires Williams. Now Mike Gallego representing the 8th spot here in the lineup.
Yep. Swing away.
Well, let's swing and see if they can start to kind of put a few more dents on Jeff Becerra, and they can't, as we see a fly ball settle into Marquise Grissom's glove. Clean inning for Jeff Becerra.
Let's have Bob Wickman
lead off.
Yeah, let's have Wickman start this inning. This is the 8th inning, right?
Yep. 8th inning action,
Yep.
6-1 contest. And we will warm up Bob Wickman, who's ready to go. So we are going to replace Jim Abbott with Bob Wickman.
Yep.
Wickman is in. Expos record when leading after 7 innings in 1994, 64-5. So there were a few hiccups. Just saying.
Never know. Wickman had a great year.
Wickman was great.
Well, Bobby came a long way. He was from Wisconsin. Had cut the top of his finger off in a dairy accident, of his right index finger, which made his ball sink more, supposedly. I was always afraid that kids around New York were going to start cutting off the top of their finger.
That is the most baseball story ever.
But he, supposedly that's what made it sink. I'll leave it at that.
That's something else. Well, let's see what Bob gives you in the 8th. Against Randy Milligan, Webster and Berry will follow. Single and 3 at-bats so far from Milligan. That's hit hard and passed short. A single to start the 8th. Okay, let's see Lenny Webster. Are we going to play double play depth?
Yeah, double play depth. Yeah, Lenny didn't run very well.
And what about the outfield?
Straight up.
Straight up, pitching to the batter. Are we going to hold the runner too with our pitch?
No, not him.
No?
Milligan
Okay, let's pitch to the batter then. Here's Bob Wickman, who led the American League in appearances in 1994. Popped up. Who has it? Mattingly at first. And there's your first out. Wickman, by the way, in 1994, 3.09 ERA, just 3 home runs in 70 innings. 70 innings in a shortened season for Wickman, facing Sean Berry now. I mean, was this your most reliable guy out of the bullpen?
Yeah. Now, Steve Howell was the best, but Wickman was pitched 7th and 8th inning on. How about that? Let's play this light pull in the infield.
No double play depth?
Yes, double play depth, slight pull.
Okay.
Can't do both?
Just double play depth.
Okay. I'd rather have the double play depth.
Do you want to do a slight pull in the outfield?
Yes, please.
All right, so let's shift him to the left for Sean Berry. And then do you want to hold Milligan, or are you still just going to pitch to the batters?
No, still playing behind him. He ain't going anywhere. Keep behind.
All right, we're pitching. And Berry's sending it to the right side. There's one. And that's all they're going to get. And Gallego actually hurt himself on the play. Trainer's checking out his right foot, and he's going to shake it off.
Those are little feet. He's about 5'7".
And hey, this is one game to end the 94 season. You really have to be feeling it to come out of a game in 1994 with 2 innings to spare in the game.
Yep, wooden ships and iron men.
That's right. Sean Berry is on first. So a little more speed on first now. Mike Lansing's up. And
I'd hold
are
him
you going to
on
play
2 outs.
Lansing straight up?
I'm gonna hold him on 2 outs. I'm gonna play Lenny straight up.
All right. Let's deal. Wickman got him. Sinker for the strikeout. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. Man left on base. Expos 6, Yankees 1. We are in the 8th. And number 9 hitter Pat Kelly is going up against, yes, still, Jeff Becerra.
Yeah, we're going to pinch hit with Jim Leyritz here. Bottom of the 8th, right?
Bottom of the 8th, yeah. It's time.
They're going to pinch hit with Leyritz here.
All right, so Jim Leyritz is going to replace Pat Kelly in the 9 spot.
Yep.
And then you'll tweak the defense later.
Yep.
All right, back to the action. Here comes Big Jim Leyritz.
Scott, let's have a do-over here. Let's pinch hit with Velarde instead of him, so I don't burn 2 players.
I can't go backwards.
That's okay. Then that's still a good move.
Okay. All right, let's see if Jim Leyritz can create some action here for you, Buck.
Okay.
Swinging away?
Yes, we are.
All right, let's swing away. Jim Leyritz, 17 home runs in 293 plate appearances in 1994. And he sends one to the left side, and that's a ground ball out. Top of the order. Bernie Williams time.
Swing away.
Swinging away. Where is that offense today? Again, left side. Again, hot corner play, and Bernie Williams is retired.
How many pitches
away with Mr. Box.
How many pitches has Massaro got?
He's at 111.
Yeah. That's nothing back then. Swing away.
Swinging away. Boggs swinging away. Into center. Lazy fly ball for the out. 1, 2, 3. This is one of those rare days where the Yankees offense just did not come to play. And there's only so much you can do in a spot like this. Season high, by the way, for Becerra was 131 Buck on his pitch count, so he's still got gas left.
Yeah. You got Wickman in the game.
Now we got Wickman's still in. Let's make a move here.
Yeah, Leyritz is going to go to left field. Gerald Williams comes out. Velarde goes in for Gerald Williams, but he's going to play second base.
Okay. So Velarde's going to go into the 7 spot and replace Gerald Williams.
Right, but play second base, and Leyritz stays in the game in left field.
Leyritz in left. Velarde's at second. So you've got Bernie in center, Boggs, Cardable DH, O'Neill in right, Stanley still catching. It's Mattingly, Velarde, Gallego, and Boggs in your infield, and Leyritz is in left. And we're back to action. Rondell White against Bob Wickman, ready to go?
Yep, pitch to him.
We're pitching. White's 1 for 4 tonight, and he sends one to the left side. Tons of action for both third basemen this evening. Boggs, gloves, fires, and there's one gone. And Marquise Grissom in the 3-hole.
Same way.
Pitching. Here we go.
Yep.
Grissom 2 for 3 on the day. Spins it to the right side, and he is 3 for 4. Marquise Grissom reaches for another time tonight.
Yeah, be sure and hold him on.
Alou has a chance.
Be sure and hold him on.
Hold the runner and play Alou straight up?
Yep.
Alou was the big bopper with the homer. Here comes Grissom to second. Throw is not in time. Stanley double pumped a bit, and Grissom has himself a stolen bat. So now with a runner at second, are you holding the runner or are you just pitching?
No, we're still holding the runner.
All right, so holding the runner. And Alou to center. and that's caught. And Grissom's heading to third, and he is in there safely. Throw's cut off, and with 2 outs, you have Grissom at third and Larry Walker's up. You want to pitch to him?
Yeah, we're going to intentionally walk him.
Okay. Goodbye, Larry. Take your base. Free pass, and remember back then it wasn't one of these, Buck, that we're used to nowadays. You actually had to throw the 4 tosses, which you did. And Will Cordero's up with runners on the corners.
All right, first and third there. Let's see. Go to third. What is that there, Scott? Number 7, throw to third.
That would just be to check on Marquise Grissom and try and pick him off.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're not going to put the ball in the middle here. Okay?
You're going to throw to third?
That might be a pickoff. Let's try it. See what it looks like.
All right, let's throw to third. And Grissom is safe. Got under the tag. Good try, though.
Okay. We're good. Pitch the batter.
We're pitching. Are we playing Cordero a certain way, or we're just throwing him?
No, we're going to play him. We're going to play him straight up.
Straight up. Pitching to right side. There you go. Wickman sits down Cordero, and the side. No runs, a hit, no errors, 2 left on. 6-1, here we go, and John Wetland's going to enter the game for Montreal against Danny Tartabull. So finally the day is done for Jeff Fassero, and Tartabull is going to represent the last of the 9th for the Yankees. Last licks, 3, 4, and 5 due up. Are we swinging away?
Yeah, you know, it's funny. John Wetland was pitching for us the next year. He was our closer the next year.
Yep. Traded away after the Expos got rid of many of their stars and trying to close out this 1994 season.
Let's take a pitch here.
All right, let's take a pitch and see what happens. Good strikeout numbers. Walk rate just okay. 25 saves that year. First pitch, breaking ball, catches the outside corner for strike 1. So it's 0-1 to Danny Tartabull.
Yeah, let's swing away.
Let's take some swings. Tartabull to left center, and that is going to fall. On a 1-2 pitch, that one drops. Didn't hang up long enough for Moises Alou to make it, and Danny Tartabull is a leadoff base runner in the 9th for a Yankee team trailing by 5. Buck, Paul O'Neill time.
Okay, let's go. Swing away.
Swinging away. And swinging past a fastball. A strikeout and 1 down in the 9th for Mike Stanley.
We're gonna have Matt Noakes pinch hit for Mike Stanley.
All right, let's head to the bench. Matt Noakes replacing Mike Stanley.
Yep.
And what's the reasoning for that?
They platooned the whole year, basically. Mike caught most of the games, but Noakes was a great pull hitter in that ballpark. But, you know, you've got an extra catcher and Leyritz in there anyway if something happens, so you're covered. Oh, left-handed bat here. Wetland had plus breaking ball. He's tough on Stanley. High fastball. Mike was a down hitter anyway.
And Noakes was a .595 slugger that year. His slugging percentage close to 600. And are we swinging away with 1 on here?
Yes.
Let's ride. Blooper doesn't leave the infield, and the Yanks are down to their final out, and look who it is. Don Mattingly, who, let's pause for a second. Donnie Baseball in 1994 had played, I believe, over 1,600 games. I got the number right here. 1,657 games to that point. No playoff baseball, Buck. And I can only imagine what he thought when the 1994 season came to a close. Now, I did find some quotes from him later on because, of course, you guys won the wild card in 95, fell to the Mariners in a best of 5. So Donnie Baseball, who was really good in that series, 417, 6 RBIs in that postseason, said he didn't dwell on 94 because he did get one chance in 1995. But aren't you still left with thinking what 94 could have been? The more chances in the tournament, the better, right?
Sure, but you know, there's so much unknown, Scott. Like I said, we would have had to play some other teams to get to the World Series. But boy, there was a great feeling around that club. We had depth, we had pieces that fit. There was a great camaraderie ship and morale. Players put the team in front of anything individual. They were a fun team to manage, and they knew that I respected them, and they respected me and the staff, and it was just a fun group to travel with and to win games. And it's one reason why we had a better record on the road than I think we had the best record in the American League on the road. The team just was a very yeoman, workman-like group, and but Donnie's it kind of says all you need to know, and I kind of followed his lead. It is what it is. There's a lot tougher things in life, but we all would have liked to seen what certain moments where you remember where you were when it happened. I remember exactly when I saw Bud Selig come on TV and say that the season had been canceled completely. I couldn't believe that baseball was going to do that. And anybody's thinking about possibly a strike coming up should talk to people involved in that. It was awful, and it was awful for baseball.
Yeah, and then eventually we resumed the '95 season late, and the Cleveland Indians won in '95 with a star-studded team: Tomey, Manny, Lofton, Bell, Vizquel, Eddie Murray. Well, I should say that they went on to go to the World Series in '95 and fall to Atlanta. But that 1994 ALDS would have been, if we ended the season right there, Yankees in Cleveland. So that would have been pretty entertaining, I would say, to start off the postseason in '94 in the American League Division Series.
The best thing that came out of that, Scott, was we played the Mariners the next year in the playoffs, and fans and people were still mad about what happened to baseball. I've had more people say that series with Griffey and Mattingly and Randy Johnson and everything rekindled their love for baseball and gave them a chance to kind of put their bitterness towards the strike behind them. So, I'll take that with me as I move forward.
All right, so let's see if Donnie Baseball can keep the season going here. Are we swinging away with Danny Tartabull on first base and the team trailing by 5? And I'm sure a ton of boos coming down right now from Yankee Stadium, looking for some offense from these guys.
Now, they're not booing Mattingly, but I'll let him swing away.
All right. He does swing, and he sends a high fly ball into left, and that is caught. And the Montreal Expos win the 1994 World Series. One game to take it all. The What If series was dominated in one game by Jeff Fassero. A few extra little hops there at the end on the celebration. And there it is, Buck. It's a final as we check out the box score. So, first off, on the Montreal side, the stars were stars. Marquise Grissom, 3 for 4. He scored 3 times. Moises Alou had the knockout punch late. 3 for 4. He drove in 3. Walker knocked in a couple runs, walked, and contributed a single. And on your side, besides base hits from Boggs and O'Neill and one from Tartabull, it was a quiet night for the Yankee bats.
Yep. When you get 2 immovable forces in the playoffs, I talk about it. The team that pitches the best, Jimmy Key got off to uncharacteristic, tough start, and we never. But thank God this isn't completely. It's too realistic for me, but I'm gonna forget about it and keep in mind that it didn't happen.
It didn't happen. Wait, and not only did it not happen, and yes, credit to Fassero, 8 innings, 1 run, a walk, and 8 strikeouts. Not only that, Buck, and there's only so much you can do when the lineup just wasn't hitting. It was also a pretty quick game. Well, in today's standards for the playoffs, 3 hours, 6 minutes, a little bit of rain, 54 degrees at Yankee Stadium in October.
God, that was a long game back then. Trust me.
That was, right?
3 hours. Everybody said umpires would have been complaining. The 2 groups that complain the most about length of game are the media and the umpires, because they're the 2 groups that watch all the games. But, tempo and rhythm, there was a good tempo and rhythm to it, I'm sure.
Okay, so Buck, I'll tell you this. Even though there were some parts that felt realistic and there was some nostalgia, at some point, we'll have to have you back. We'll have to either play a game or a series. You think Felipe Alou would play something like this with us?
Oh, I do. If he knows it with me, because he and I always kidded each other. and neither ever gave in. I said, Felipe, you had a good club, but would have beat you. He goes, nah. Depending on who, I said, I know would have beat you on the turf. You had a chance at Yankee Stadium. They had that hard, really hard, bouncy turf. It was a tough place to play.
I'm going to make it part of my winter mission to track down Felipe and get you for a couple hours so that we can play one game out, and you'll both be sending me what you're doing so that, you don't hear each other, obviously. And obviously you can say some things, they warm up my pitch or whatever, but any kind of strategical moves, we're going to get that figured out because this was fun. It was really cool to get a little glimpse of 94.
I don't want to make out his lineup anymore. Let him. I made out too good a lineup for Felipe. Let him make it out. I got to tell you, my first game in the Florida State League, Felipe was managing the West Palm Beach Expos in the Florida State League, like I said. And I come to home plate, and this guy, it was like a baseball god walked out there. He had this big booming voice, and he used to talk like that and real loud, and the whole stadium, you could hear this voice. And he treated me like $1 million at a time in my life when he really didn't have to. And I love the man. I think he's special.
Well, maybe you should have picked. What were you saying?
I got his phone number. Let me know.
I will. I'd love to set it up, either later on in the summer or in the off season. I guess in addition to the lineup, maybe we should have picked Ken Hill or young Pedro, who was a little more erratic back then.
Well, I don't know, as you say, what the AI plays off of, but those were the best two starting pitchers. Kenny Hill, you could make a case for. Jimmy Key was pretty clear cut. And, Kamenicki came on towards the end of that year. So did a young guy named Sterling Hitchcock. Molito Perez had his moments. The guy that didn't pitch well that year was Terry Mulholland. But he was a man's man. He took the ball and gave us what he could. He was a good human being. And that's the thing. Some of the guys that struggled, they were such a good teammate. It was a fun club, Scotty. That was a very professional team.
And it was just pretend, but it was fun to just kind of take the brain back to 94 and enter a World Series that never happened. But Buck, that was awesome. And that was all your idea. As we were talking through this, I was like, all right, Buck, because obviously there's a lot of squads that you can choose from, which we could play out sometime in the future, right? We could look at some of your Orioles teams, some of your Rangers teams, and look at some of your Diamondbacks clubs. But the series that leaves so much to be desired is the one that we just talked about with the Yankees and the Expos. So I just thought it was a great idea.
And trust me, after the outcome, it still leaves something to be desired, okay? I ain't happy.
I know you're not. I know. We do need to have a rematch. We'll get Felipe involved. We'll do this again, okay? Buck, thanks. This was awesome. It's called The Big Idea. You're the man. Out of the Park Baseball 22. It's what the pros play. Ultimate baseball strategy game. There was plenty of strategy involved, right? Your brain was churning.
Yeah, it brought back. I got a headache right now. I got to go take an aspirin.
Go get it. Go grab an adult beverage. Have a great rest of your day. Appreciate it, and I'll see you soon, Buck. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Scotty. Thanks for having me. Y'all take care. Good luck.
Out of the Park Baseball 22. Play what the pros play. The world's best baseball strategy game. Whether you're new school or old school, all that matters is winning. Take full control of any current Major League Baseball franchise. Discover and develop elite players, coaches, and scouts. Run your team your way and build a World Series champion. The Infinite Baseball Sandbox. All new for 2021. Stunning new 3D ballparks for every Major League team. Or build your own unique, majestic landmark with our dramatically improved ballpark construction kit. A completely remodeled coaching system that connects and impacts your entire organization. All new strategies and management options give you unprecedented control. Plus, dozens of gameplay and performance improvements that make the best even better. And of course, Perfect Team 22, The critically acclaimed online competition roars back this season with more strategies, more content, and a brand new mode, Perfect Draft. Out of the Park Baseball 22, available worldwide on March 26th, 2021.